EGB, your esports betting world. The only place to find the widest choice of popular games and matches to win real money. Choose your bet on a single event or express of several matches with dizzy odds. Serving the market for 7 years with over 800,000 users. Join now to get your bonus for the first deposit up to $600. EGB, you know for sure who's gonna win.
5 seconds remaining. Dire team ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Dire team pick. Radiant team pick.
Points away.
Hello guys and welcome back to the EGB Arena Blood Season 2. We have some great games in front of us. It's Team Empire Hope vs. Khan, continuing with the same best of 3 that we saw previously. Before we start though, actually my name is DSwordfish, nice to meet you, I'm your caster for today. Before we start, we have a message from our sponsors. Guys, our partner EGB.com gives you an awesome proposal. The first deposit bonus is up to $600. At EGB.com you can also find convenient service, daily quest, and a bonus system. Interested? Click on the banner under the broadcast to learn more. Now, let's get on with the draft. Khan this time, they snag the Weaver. Okay, so it's Weaver gaming, guys. But Team Empire Hope, they pick up the Tusk regardless. So you don't have the Weaver-Tusk combination and the Rubik as well. Khan will be running the Weaver together with the Grimstroke and the Pangolier as their, let's call it a combo. So for now, Team Empire Hope is actually looking quite strong. They have a very solid draft that can lead into anything. I don't love the Rubik 5, but Team Empire Hope has run this before. Khan, on the other hand, is running the Weaver together with the Grimstroke and Pango. So for now, their draft doesn't have much synergy. It is open, but doesn't have much synergy just yet. It's clear they're going for a mid-game draft. And Empire Hope very intelligently picks the biggest counter to Pangolier and to the Weaver, which is the Bloodseeker. Rupture cannot be dispelled. Rupture destroys Pango. Rupture destroys Weaver. Blood Ray can also be brutal against the Weaver as well, or a Pango if used in the right conditions. So Bloodseeker is actually really, really good, and it's starting to see a bit of play because of the prevalence of Pango and the prevalence of Weaver. Bloodseeker is also really strong together with Rubik, and he's actually quite solid with Tusk, because he's also a hero that brings attack speed to the table, which is the best way to utilize Tag Team. Sorry. So right now, the Empire Hope draft is actually looking quite good. Khan responds to this Bloodseeker pick with a Pugna, and Pugna is okay against the Bloodseeker, but there's a couple issues with this, which is that the Nullifier against Bloodseeker is not the... Oh, sorry, not Nullifier. The Decamify against Bloodseeker is not the best way of countering him. He can still use Blood, right? He can still use Rupture. He doesn't only deal physical damage. He's an easy BKB carrier. And if you decrypt something, Nullifier is actually a really good item on Bloodseeker, because the extra attack damage he can utilize really well, honestly. So it's one of the few heroes that can actually utilize this kind of garbage item just to counter the Pugna. So Pugna is just kind of okay. Team Empire Hope also respond to this pick with a Morphling here in the mid lane. We don't know what the mid lane is going to be looking like for Khan just yet, but the Morphling destroys the Pugna, and because of this pick, Khan have already kind of settled on this early to mid game combo. Empire Hope will let the Bloodseeker be their tempo controller. They know that Bloodseeker can always essentially erase the Pango from team fights. He's going to be able to deal well with the Weaver, so Empire Hope is just settling the win condition. If this was a late game draft and Khan finishes up with a mid laner that can actually go late, and Empire Hope has to beat that mid laner with his own Bloodseeker, they're going to have a very tough time. Also, Morphling in the mid lane is a much bigger tempo controller. Morphling in the mid laner is actually a quicker hero than Morphling in the safe lane because he gets levels earlier. And he beats most mid lane matchups, with the exception of things like Huskar or OD, which of course is what you should be worried about. In fact, here I would actually either get rid of the Broodmother or the Huskar, honestly, one of the two. So Empire Hope actually is not running a slow lineup despite the use of the Morphling. Yes, it's not the quickest thing in the world, but they should be able to beat Khan simply because of how hard a counter Bloodseeker is. Another point to be made in their favor is that last time we actually saw Khan going for relatively slow supports, whereas Team Empire Hope going for the Tusk and the Rubik, Tusk especially, is a really quick support. So you're not going to be in a difficult position ever in this game. There's the Broodmother ban. I would suggest going for a quick offlaner as well. Centaur would have been nice, but I'd rather actually see the Beastmaster here, because Beastmaster gives you the push, gives you a lot of damage in the early game, and he's also great with Necronomicon. So Beastmaster would be kind of nice, and if you wanted to go for a quick lineup here for Empire Hope. I wouldn't mind seeing a Legion Commander either, but Legion Commander is considerably slow in the Beast or than the Centaur as well. So I don't particularly love that Legion. Alternative heroes, like we could also see an Underlord again, but again, don't love that hero. I think it's a bit too slow. I think Beast just does too much, right? Beast is great against Bengal, Beast is great against Weaver, Beast is actually really good against Pugna, especially if you go for Necronomicons, because Pugna it carries a Purge, right, if you get level 3 Pugna. So I would just really like to see a Beast here for Mastery. I mean, there's no out of the question. I think other picks would be below it, but we'll see what they pick up here and if I agree with it. Underlord. Yeah, I did mention this. Like, he's okay. He's a bit slower than Beast, a bit quicker than Legion, for example. So he's kind of that middle ground. We saw the Mastery is comfortable on him. What Underlord does carry that Beastmaster does not is that he has a lot of disengaged mechanics. So you can actually control the tempo of the game a bit better than, say, a Beastmaster, who's usually a win more kind of hero. So I don't disagree with the Underlord pick. I do think he's a bit weaker, though, than the potential Beastmaster. Because if Khan tries to push your towers, Firestorm will stop him from going to the high ground, but you really don't have anything to beat them, honestly. You have nothing to really win team fights with, even if Underlord is a pretty good pickup. Also, Underlord against Weaver is not really that great of a lane. Underlord kind of struggles against Weaver most of the time. Let's see what Khan picks up here in the mid lane. You have to beat up the Morphling. I honestly would go for the Huskar. I think that you have to go for crazy things. I wonder what Arrow plays. But Huskar, you could go for the Razor, but I think Morphling just goes for Waveform build, and then Razor is screwed, so I don't love the Razor pick. I'm just suggesting Arrow picks. Quap is kind of okay against Morph. Yeah, no, because Morph can just... Nah, Quap damage means nothing to Morphling. Yeah, it has to be... If you really want to win this lane, Huskar or OD. OD is a bit too slow, so Huskar has to be the pickup. But we'll see what they decide. Like, it depends on how afraid you are of this Morphling in the mid lane. I am really afraid right now. Because if Morphling wins the lane, you're kind of screwed. So... we'll see. OD. Yeah, okay, he's a traditional Morphling counter in the lane, which is okay. I think he's a bit slow. He's also kind of countered by the Bloodseeker and Underlord. He's also doesn't go well with your lineup, because until now, Khan had the advantage here, that if this game went early, or it just stayed in the early game, you would win, right? Because you had such good push, you had really solid mid-game heroes, you had no win condition in the late game, but you didn't need one, because you weren't looking for that win condition in the mid-game. In the late game, sorry. Now with Outworld Devourer, you actually have a chance in the late game, but not a big one, because OD still struggles in late against a Bloodseeker Morphling combo, and Weaver and Pango have already been countered, and will be further countered, especially if Bloodseeker can grab an Ags, because he wants to just use Rupture on both of them. The Pugna becomes much weaker in the late game, so does the Grimstroke. In fact, they're running a Pugna as a offlaner. Oof, that's even worse, because Pugna offlaner gets even further countered in the late game. So Khan is kind of running a ladder lineup, and ladder lineups are very countered. What's a ladder lineup? Ladder lineup is a lineup that actually has different tempo stages because they're looking to kind of build up to the late game, right? But ladder lineups suffer one issue, which is that at no point are all your cores ready to fight, right? At first, you'll have Pugna probably being the strong core. Then Weaver will kind of come online, and then finally the OD. But at no point, because Pugna does fall off after he comes online, Weaver falls off after he comes online. So when the OD is finally online, it's really going to be the OD versus the world. In the case of Team Empire Hope, Bloodseeker will definitely come online before the Morphling, and similar with Underlord. But Underlord doesn't have a peak utility. Underlord is kind of useful at any point in the game, frankly. So it's not too concerning for him. Meanwhile, the Bloodseeker does also have some late game viability. He's not a hero that has a massive peak either. Yes, minute 15 to 20 is kind of his best moment, but he can be useful at any point. And Morphling in the mid lane is a bit quicker, so their tempos are actually closer to each other, whereas Khan's tempos are all over the place. Also for Empire Hope, you have a Tusk, which will help in the early mid game, but it's also useful in late, just under a different role, and similar with a Rubik. I don't love ladder lineups. They've been really punished in the recent patches. Simply because ladder lineups used to be useful before when you had a one single win condition, and it's like ladder lineups have one single win condition, like usually a Medusa or a Spectre or an Anti-Mage or whatever, and they work because that hero is so strong they can solo win the game. That's not really the case anymore in Dota, so I don't love this. I don't think the OD is a solid win condition by any means, especially not against Morph. Because as soon as Morph gets enough talents, or sorry, not enough talents, enough stats to be able to withstand the OD's damage, you're fine, and the OD won't be able to touch you. Don't love this. Don't love this too much. I would say that I kind of rather have... Right now, I am very much leading the way of... I'm very much leading the way of Empire Hope in their draft. I think their draft is much more solid. Maybe the OD is going to be able to beat the Morphling in lane so hard that they mess up with the tempo of Empire, and that makes a difference. But I think once the... I mean, I would actually go for Maelstrom Blade Mail BKB here on Bloodseeker, and you're going to have a really tough time. In fact, I would actually go for Blade Mail before. Maybe not even go Maelstrom, maybe go Blade Mail BKB straight on Bloodseeker. I wouldn't mind that, because you have Tag Team to add damage. We'll see. Also, people that ask like questions about the score, I will say this once again, but if you look at the timer here, there's a sun up top, you see a 0-0, there's a sun there, and like a time 129 underneath, right? Next to this timer, there's a little square, right? You see this yellow square? That indicates the amount of won games by a team A or team B. So if you're asking about the score, just look at the squares. Is there a square over there? That means a team has won a game. Is there no square elsewhere? That means we're in game 2, right? It's wonderful how Dota does these little things for spectators, you know, so we'll learn to appreciate them. So it is 1-0 in favor of Empire Hope right now, in case that wasn't clear. Let's see how this turns out. I'm not too confident this time, though, in Empire's lanes. I think the mid lane is lost, or at least it's not a fair matchup, and the off lane is also not that great for an Underlord. Underlord has a fair amount of starting armor, to be honest. They can withstand the Weaver's damage early, but once you get Swarm, his mitigation with the Atrophiora is not good enough. I'm assuming he's going to go for a 3-1-1 build again, because there's no use of getting many points in Atrophiora. Yes, it takes away your base damage, and Weaver has actually pretty high base damage, but his agility gain is not good enough that you want to keep putting points in Atrophiora, really. And I don't think you can really contest the Weaver. Because part of the fun about being an Underlord is that when you get enough damage with the aura, if the enemy carry... I love Tusk is going for Mirror Shield, yep, there we go. If you're a melee carry, for example, and you're up against an Underlord, part of the greatness about the aura is that at some point he's going to have so much damage, you're going to be trading with him, and you'll realize a bit too late, because it happens very often, that Underlord's going to win this trade. He's going to beat you down. He's not going to let you last it, he's not going to let you regen, he's going to kill you. And that's what usually nets Underlord's kills, like a misattribution or a misreading of the play, or of the strength of each hero. Because of course Underlord's strength changes. That's a really nice steal by Naive, actually. Naive gets a free rune there. Against a ranged hero, that's a bit difficult for Underlord because you can't get close and trade with them. But even more so, against a ranged hero, it's difficult because against Weaver is even more difficult because Weaver has always an escape mechanism. So it's kind of hard to kind of surprise Weaver by being able to trade against him. He's never going to trade with you unless he has the Shukuchi ready. So it's kind of a big problem here for Mastery. I don't think this lane is going to be easy for him. In fact, he goes for level 1 Mastery, level 1 Firestorm, which I actually like. It's again much better against obviously melee carries because they have to be near the lane to last it, but it's okay. Like, it's the best thing you can do against Weaver. Push the lane, try to get last hits your way. Meanwhile, mid lane, we see that the Morphling, of course, is suffering a bit here against the OD. Luckily, he has more attack speed, so he can get some denies or some creeps that the OD can't take. But it's a bit tough regardless. Earlier levels, Morphling is kind of cancelled, especially if you go for an early point in Illusory Orb. Some do, some don't. There we go. Sorry, in Arcane Orb, but Illusory Orb, you can kind of counter the Morphling. But sometimes just going for the Astral Imprisonment and dealing damage is enough, because Morphling can't really do much against you, unfortunately. You need level 3 on Morphling to really be able to kind of contest the OD. The only advantage here in this lane, as opposed to say a Huskar lane, is that OD naturally pushes the lane. So you can take advantage of that by just last sitting on a tower. Morphling is one of the best ranged heroes at last sitting under the tower, so it's a big deal there. So he's not going to be too chuffed when that happens. Mastery. Oh, wait. Duckless. Why is he there? He's actually being harassed considerably. Mastery sees the opportunity. Firestorm used. I don't know. That's not the best position right now. Mastery sees the opportunity to get the first blood, and that's a lot for the Underlord. There we go. His courier dies, but it's okay. They want to give the kill to Mastery. Duckless, though, playing around with this. Mastery gets the final hit. James will die, but his first blood going the way of Mastery, which is kind of worth it for your team right now. Of course, I mean, you just went away, Cameron, but of course he was mid-die there. Anyway, it's still a win, I would say, for the Underlord. I don't think you care too much about this. Meanwhile, on the bottom lane, Bloodseeker's managing to lane pretty well against the Pugna. It was very smart, actually, now that I realized this, that Pugna is actually playing this off lane, because Bloodseeker counters the Pango so much. It's the best way to deal with this. But it's not like Pugna destroys Bloodseeker either in the lane. The thing is, Pango's pretty good against Bloodseeker in the lane, and you're going to have to deal with this somehow. So they haven't really been putting too much pressure against Yamich. In fact, now you see that the Weaver is actually even with the Bloodseeker in terms of farm. So the problem here with Empire Age is similar to the problem last game with Khan. How do you mitigate this difficult laning stage? How do you beat them? How do you make sure that this game goes late enough that you can actually take advantage of your team? It's a bit tough. I don't know how they're going to manage to do this. I mean, a lot of disengaging with the Underlord. I'm expecting they're going to reserve a lot of experience for the Underlord, because you should. Trying to get Underlord Dark Rift level 2 early is very important. The fact that Morphling can go jungle early can also help out a bit, because Morphling is a really good jungler. He has a fair amount of denies against the OD. They're actually even in denies, which is really good. So right now Morphling is kind of standing his own against the OD, and that's pretty nice, honestly. You're not expecting Morphling to do this well against an OD. I was expecting... I mean, he's a lane counter. He's known as a lane counter, and Morphling is actually beating him right now. He has a much better... Lightless seem to be better than Arrow in terms of lane control, and in terms of... Actually, just the laning stage as a whole. Lane control, understanding the matchups, he seems to know this better. So he's confident in his Morphling here, which is good. And the Underlord, despite him not being able to kick Weaver out of lane, is actually able to last it nicely, even if he doesn't have many denies. So it's not too bad for Empire Hope, considering how bad the matchups are for them. In fact, they might even get a kill on Naive. Naive trying to kill the Rubik. There's a nice little Inkswell that saves his life, but they see him with Thirst. Naive's going to try to commit suicide. Go for the Courier instead. Mastery, one last hit will do the trick. He gets it. So Courier dies, James as well, but they do get the kill on Naive, so ends up being a win for Khan because of that Courier kill. Very, very important. Second time they killed the Underlord Courier. Remember, that Courier gives you the most gold in the early game. It's one of the few gold sources that wasn't nerfed. That's 200 gold going the way of Khan, which is a huge, huge lead. However, Weaver dying does put him behind the Bloodseeker, who's actually not having too much trouble in this lane. Of course, disarming constantly is annoying, but Bloodseeker's managing to last it decently. Honestly, Pugna and Pango against a Bloodseeker. Pugna and Pango against any melee carry beats almost every single one of them. But Bloodseeker is one of the few that can actually last it with Bloodright and recover with Blood Rage, so he's doing a really good job. 22 last hits for a carry like this against such a difficult lane is pretty great. Meanwhile, Morphling, though falling behind the OD, which is expected, of course, is actually doing okay. Mastery in trouble. The Swarm might kill him. There's the help from the Rubik, and he will survive, but Naive chasing after him. Shikuchi's enough damage, and Naive will get that kill. In the bottom lane, they also find the kill against Egnart, and the aggression by Khan is starting, of course. They see the opportunity, and they're seizing every single one of these kills.
Are you okay? Precious bounty.
Takai in the bottom lane. He's really looking for the experience right now. The Pugna is managing to deny a fair amount, which is putting the Bloodseeker in the worst position. I think he actually went for 2 points in the crap early just so you can keep on lasting. So it's not bad. Luckily, the Bloodseeker's still beating the Weaver, so overall, it's still a win for Empire Hope in terms of the carry matchup, even if your Pugna is farming well. The only concern is, of course, what can the Pugna do with his farm? It's going to be difficult to deal with that, because Pugna's a really good early game carry, and you're kind of scared of it the early game right now. Naive trying to go for the kill on Rubik, very weak with Fade Bolt plus the Atrophy Aura, so getting kills here is a bit difficult. He is playing extra aggressive, but that means that he's losing a lot of assets, which is not ideal, of course, for him. And Lightless finally getting to that level 3 on the attribute shift means that he's fine against the OD now. He can actually trade against him in lane. He's not going to have the easiest lane, of course. Astral Prism is still, it's difficult to deal with. But he is not going to be killed. He's no longer in threat of that happening anymore. Regen Rune, okay, they won't stop Arrow. He doesn't have the Regen Rune in time. They are managing to deal a fair amount of damage, but again, this build by Egnard really is not great. Second time he goes for this build, and Ice Shards didn't do anything in this engagement, and Tag Team didn't deal enough damage, so Arrow could just continue fighting this. If you had Tag Team level 2, his damage would have been considerably higher, and they would have actually been able to turn this around against Arrow. But again, it's not a good build. I've never seen other Tusks build like this, and I don't understand why he's doing this. It's just not good. It's just not good.
That should help.
Okay, Lightless needs them. Oh, I don't like the bottle either, actually. I know that Made Morph can go for bottle, but I'd much rather see him go for Morbid Mask, frankly. Which costs a bit more than a bottle. Like, I mean, bottle is fine on a Morphling, don't get me wrong, but I think Morbid Mask is kind of needed in this game when you're falling behind so easily. And wow, because of the Weaver kills and mainly the Couriers as well, Naive's actually beating the Bloodseeker by a lot of net worth, even if his last hits aren't too great. So it ends up being kind of a win going their way. Mastery's farming okay, and Bloodseeker's kind of farming okay, but yeah, not what you're looking for. Of course, though, the two win conditions right now are relatively equal, which is the OD and the Morphling. I was expecting much bigger domination by the OD, 300 gold difference, barely. It's not that much of a difference. So, Empire Hope can be happy with this early game. The only concern, of course, is you're going to have to stop the Pugna. Bloodseeker's going to go down here in the bottom lane. He catch the Morphling also in the mid lane. Observer, you had 2 kills to find. You missed both. My god. The easy catches on 2 cores puts them in a difficult position right now because they are the. I mean, Morphling needs to be farming perpetually, and Bloodseeker is not going to really create some space for you right now as it stands. Bloodseeker is going to be in trouble. In the top lane, James does go down. They wanted to kill Naive. Naive has used a time lapse. Egnard, no snowball available, so Naive is going to get away, no problem. Egnard doesn't really have the vision. And if you had Tag Team level 2, he would have been dead. Again, a second time. Tag Team level 2 would really make a difference. You've lost 2 kills now, Egnard, because of this build. Let's hope this is worth it. Let's hope this is worth it. Let's hope this Ice Shards is worth it. I mean, you could have snowballed him too there. You chose Ice Shards, but you could have snowballed him, and the kill would have happened anyway. You really stop going for Tag Team. Stop going for the 1-1-1 build at this point. It's not useful. Atakai is level 6 finally, at least. So he has some kill potential both against the Weaver and the Pango. That's not bad. He's also managing, surprisingly enough, probably because of his blood right, to defend his tower against Pugna, which is a big deal. Because if Pugna cannot take the early tower, he's not really accomplishing what he wants in lane, right? Underlord is managing to stay more or less around the same form as the Pugna. You want the early pipe against the Pugna, and against a Pango, and against an OD, and against a Grimstroke. So the early pipe is super important. So it's okay for now. The Morphling, though, is really falling behind compared to the OD, which is to be expected, right? OD does farm a bit better in the lane, and OD can farm in the lane, whereas Morphling at this point is relegated to the jungle. So is the Bloodseeker at this point. So they're going to have to deal with it somehow. They're going to have to find some way of countering this.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
I almost feel bad.
Okay, Mastery. He's capable of getting away, no problem. 1k lead still for Kondo, and this is concerning. It's 10 minutes in. They haven't taken any tier 1s either, so this 1k lead is not representative, actually, of the lead they should have, because the lead they should have would be higher if they had managed to take some towers, which is definitely what Shakan is looking for.
I was meant to have
Blood right used, Yamich. Okay, this is a really big deal, actually. Silencing the one guy with a team fight. Nice to Crep, though, to get some space. It was all a bait. It was all a bait by Yamich to get 2 support kills here. This is massive. Huge win by Khan. They don't get the bounty, though. They don't get the bounty, which is, I guess, the bigger deal. But getting 2 supports in the process was good enough. Bloodseeker was smart and decided to leave in time. He did force an OD rotation, but since that OD rotation came with 2 kills, it's kind of worth it, because OD gets some farm out of that anyway. Like I said, OD is not the best farmer in the game, so obviously these kills really helped out.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Well, Morph, still no Morbid Mask on him, which again I don't love because you can't really go in farm the jungle. But I guess right now you have to give some farm to Bloodseeker. It's just tough. I don't know how the Bloodseeker really comes back from this. He's useful with items, don't get me wrong, but he's not a hero that's meant to lose the lane. He's one of the strongest carry laners out there. And they managed to counter him with specifically the combo of Pugna and the Pango. I'm also surprised by the fact that they didn't rotate or put more pressure in this lane. They wanted to put pressure on the Weaver, but it's just not easy to completely cancel the Weaver. They got some good farm for Mastery, which is fine, I suppose. But oh, your Bloodseeker's fallen behind. There we go. He's forced to go up top. In fact, I actually would have liked to see Bloodseeker. I don't know what his build is, but I wouldn't mind if he went for more points in Blood. Right, Eknard is dead easily here in the bottom lane. I mean, Shishokat is such a force to be reckoned with. I don't know what Mastery's planning on doing here. Mastery is so obvious you're there. He's gonna Dark Rift himself away. Okay, I don't know if he wanted to get the deny on the tower. That's the first tower to fall. First tier 1. Mastery does get away with the Dark Rift, so that's not bad actually. I guess that's the best usage of level 1 Dark Rift you can really find in this game, which is not wrong.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
The top lane we see he's actually maxed Thirst, which is not great. The Bloodrite is a bit better. I mean, I understand that maxing Thirst is always the build on Bloodseeker, and it does seem appropriate most of the time. But when you lose the lane, which is a rarity in Bloodseeker, you have to be able to adapt, and Bloodrite is the best build for that, because he's far much quicker. Okay, Tuskar again killed, easy, but he's actually tanking a gank that would have gone the way of Lightness otherwise. So that was actually a good play by the Tuskar. This is fine. However, Khan doesn't really care about kills right now. Khan is looking for towers. Oh, James, you better be careful with this. Astral him? Can they keep him stunned? Rolling Thunder, they want to perfectly time this. They do not. Shukuchi is going to save his life. Swarm doesn't really affect him. He's no longer under the Swarm. The Rubik. And there's the Rupture here on Naive. Can actually continue this. They have a lot of Thirst right now, so they go for Naive. They want to follow this, and Naive is dead immediately. Good job there. Lila's turning into the Weaver as well. But the Pung is still alive. He's the main source of damage. There's the Ice Shards preventing the OD from going anywhere. Snowball as well. Bloodrite is barely going to graze him. It's going to be enough for now. And the tier 1 is going to fall here in the middle lane. Here comes the Bloodrite, again annoying them. Arrow's going to hit again by this Bloodrite. Silence is still annoying. I wish I had more levels in it, but whatever. Only level 2 Bloodrite, it's okay. Arrow, a bit harassed, a bit chased away. Ironwood Tree going the way of the Pango, which is fantastic. That's going to help them a bit. I mean, I'm assuming that's going to be given to the OD or the Weaver, which they need the early stats, it's not bad. Lightless still no more in mass, rushing that E-Blade. I like this, honestly. I think if you go for Manta or whatever, it puts you back a bit too much. And the managing to stave off the aggression while still farming, honestly. The Bloodseeker has actually managed to keep up, or at least be even now with the Weaver. You know, Weaver was beating him for a while. They're forcing Khan to go for a lot of aggression, which includes their win condition, which is the OD. And if you get killed with this is fantastic. But if a support, for example, tanks a smoke, this is a waste of time. Oh, Mastery, what a cheeky steal. Getting the kill here on Mastery, though, is totally worth it. Yep, Mastery gonna go down. I think you should Dark Rift. Nope, he took too long. Took too long. Yeah, I should have Dark Rifted immediately as I saw the OD. That was such an obvious smoke. Obviously, he didn't have the information we did, but that was a very obvious smoke. And if you Dark Rift in time, they can't set up with you ask for imprisonment, so you would have been safe. That was a bit of a misplay there by the Underlord. He saw the OD from the high ground running at him. If the OD is running at you, there's definitely at least 2 or 3 people behind. Also, he appeared out of nowhere, and you were nearby, like they were near a ward and you didn't see anyone, so clearly there was a smoke there. You could have actually inferred that. Obviously, it's a bit difficult to make that assumption clearly, but you could have definitely inferred that. Alright, that was not the greatest of plays. You think that you're a bit invulnerable to Chikuchi. It's like a hero with a haste rune. You think you're God, and you're not God. They kill him with a ghost in the end. They get a counter kill here, at least on the Pango, but nice to Krep, saving his life. Bloodseeker can't do much against this. Pit of Malice, stopping Yamich. Lightless, now silenced as well. Lightless has to get away himself. Lightless can't really fight this because he's fully morphed to strength right now just to survive. So you don't really deal much damage against Naive. He's forced to get away. Okay. Okay, this is not great for you either. I mean, Lightless is getting a surprising amount of farm during this time, but Your win condition again is participating in these team fights. You don't want that to happen, of course. Neither team wants this to happen. Either team would love if they could just fight with 4 heroes and ignore their win condition, which OD or Weaver, of course. Snowball, Yamich, in they come. They steal the Inkswell. That's actually a really good steal. Obviously, Shukuchi is the best steal you can get in this game. Shukuchi's so close. But Inkswell is not bad at all. Especially with a Bloodseeker, that's a nice combo. Also, you get extra stun because it's a Rubik. Atakai is level 10, so he makes max blood right, which means he can push lanes really quickly. Okay, that should be like max blood right. Huh, max blood right should kill the Rage Creeper from the go. Is it not max? 4-4-1-1, like 1-4-4-1, yeah. Maybe you need more points of blood rage to do that, because I haven't seen the blood rate since the changes to intelligence. Maybe, yeah, I'm just guessing here. Oh, he obviously went for the 1 point in talent, that's why. Yeah, he went for the talent, that's why he doesn't have max blood rate. There we go, Cheshire Cat. This is not a kill you can allow yourself to have, because you are currently only useful during this time. As an offlane Pugna, unlike the support Pugna, you really have a very peak utility, and you fall off incredibly quickly as an offlane Pugna. You don't have one utility as the game progresses, even if you go for a Dagon build, even if you go for Seth Advice, you're just a stun or whatever it is. Your Nether Blast is just a pushing tool at best. You're not as strong as you are in the early game, your damage is not as relevant, so you can't really give yourself up like that. That's a big kill, actually. Duckless, oh, this could be a good kill as well. Two supports, giving some fun to the Morphling. Duckless is the target. Lightless wanted to get the kill. He needs some more ability. He turns into the Grimstroke and finishes him off with his own medicine. Now Silence onto the Weaver, well played. The Inksel will also hit. Weaver can't get the Ghost off. Immediately now, time lapses as the Ghost gets off him, and Mastery is also going to go down, unable to use the Firestorm before he dies. Lightless wants to continue fighting this. He has Waveform in a second, has enough mana, gets away, but here comes the OD. They should be able to kill Lightless. He still has the Morph, but can't turn into the Weaver. Has the Ghost Scepter, but uses it as the Astral Imprisonment hits, which means he's not going to be able to get away now from 4 heroes hitting him. There's no Ghost Scepters to save him. That's going to be a dead Morphling a second time. It started out as a great initiation, but a really good rotation by OD turned the tides around. The only advantage here for Empire Hope is that this is more farm for the Bloodseeker, who actually went for a Drums build. Drums into BKB. Okay, I don't love the Drums into BKB build, to be perfectly honest. Because of course Drums into BKB means that you wasted a bunch of gold on Drums, and Drums in the Bloodseeker is just okay. Maelstrom is a bit more expensive, but does so much more than Drums. Drums just doesn't deal enough damage, or doesn't help you enough. The stats are just okay. And of course you're going to BKB, so you need that later. I don't know. I don't love the build. I think there are better options. Now they push from the high ground, very smart, but they have a ward up there, which Empire Hope is not revealing that they have a ward up there. And they go with a snowball. The enemy team also puts another ward up there. They want to kill the Pugna first. He's very close to dying. There we go. They get Cheshire Cat. Eknar might die as a result. But for now, it seems fine. The Morphling has turned into a Weaver. And he can continue to fight this if they want to. Rupture has been used on the OD. They're forcing him back. They kill 2 supports. Empire Hope trying their best. But again, the lack of high ground dominance, despite their ward, is not enough. They don't really want to fight like this. They could have committed earlier, because Lightless turned into a Weaver, so because we saw the Swarm being used. So Lightless could have just Shukuchi'd forward and tried to kill Naive there. I mean, they're still fighting. There's another Blood Right. The Underlord seems to be the bait. Okay, Underlord, why? Alone, certainly you're not going to fight this. The little fish punch to kill Yamich, but it's only a support again. Swarm used again by Lightless, who's turned into a Weaver. Now going for Arrow. Blood Right might hit, but he saves himself with the Astral Imprisonment. And Lightless is trying to put the last bit of damage. Arrow hurts a bit too much. They do get the kill here. Has to morph immediately. There's the life drain. Tatakai has to give him some space. He can't though. In fact, Tatakai is just going to go down for free. Lightless might also suffer the same fate. He has Waveform in a second. Has to use the Ghost Scepter. Here comes James. Steals the Shukuchi. Wants to help out as well. And they will manage to at least get morphing to safety, which I think is what Tatakai accomplished. So at least Tatakai didn't die for nothing. A bit unnecessary though. I think you could have just blood righted and gotten away, but whatever. They managed to kill the OD there, so killing the win condition for the enemy is important, but you can't completely underestimate the Weaver. He's not like he's a no hero. Right? You have to respect the Weaver to some degree. And Morphling is still falling behind in terms of farm compared to the Weaver or compared to the OD. And the push is little by little, but it's continuous and is working. They go for Shagat again. Can they blow him up? They don't have the E-Blade yet, so they really do like the damage. That Decrep really helps him out, but Snowball, he goes back to the low ground for some strange reason. And that Snowball will condemn Mastery. He sees there's got this TP, or he knows, but there was no Pit of Malice to be used. So unfortunately, they have to let him go. But killing Cheshire Cat, again, very important. You can see the Pugna's farm going down. As Pugna acknowledges his new role It's just a sacrificial lamb, understanding he can no longer be the strongest hero on this game. In this game, sorry. Okay, sure cat, giving Naive full mana and full HP, really odd. I know that's how it worked actually. So Life Drain obviously steals mana from the enemy once you, or regains mana and steals mana once you hit full HP, right? But interestingly enough, in the inverse also true. Once the ally hits full HP, you start giving them mana, but you yourself don't lose mana in that process, which is fascinating. I did not know that's how it works. E-Blade's finished on the Morphin. This is going to make a huge difference, because now they can actually burst down Cheshire Cat and not need to overcommit for these kills they've been doing all the time. The next turning point is, of course, BKB on the Bloodseeker. BKB is also coming out on the Weaver. He is going to life the damage once that BKB comes out. Atos on the Underlord, that's huge. It's a great way to punish whatever the OD wants to do. They're going to force him to Astral himself in the middle of the Pit of Malice, which is never something you want to do. Because, of course, after you Astral yourself, you're still stunned, or you're still silenced, right? Or, sorry, rooted. So it's not great either.
I have punching for you.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
There's the smoke, Morphling. Oh, in comes James. Dust onto Naive. Does not quite find him. Morphling does get the TP back in time. Naive, Ice Shard, so close! That could have actually led... Yeah, Caster, that's exactly it. They should just put it a bit further away. Come on, the Tuskar doesn't have enough range for that. That's why he didn't put it further away. Come on. Don't criticize the Tusk for that play. That's brutal. What is the plan? Ignore. Okay, they're gonna burst on the Rimstroke. That's not bad. Morphling coming out from downtown. Shotgun. Goodbye. Has Wavefront soon enough. Actually turns into the OD. And here you go, OD. Taste your own medicine. Bloodred is ready. He doesn't have the Astral. Oh, he does, because he has the Axe ready. They're gonna go for the Pango next, and Pango's as good as dead. Naive is the next target. They've ruptured him. He can't dispel that. It's Jakuchi's, but they do see him. Life Drain's used. They want to keep Naive alive, and they're managing to do so. The inverse suck is good enough. The Bloodred comes in to make sure the suck stops as well. And the Pit of Mallow stopping them in their tracks. They already got the kills they were looking for. They want to continue this fight, but it's a bit difficult for them. They catch the Weaver. There's no more time lapse. Here they go. The Pugna destroying Mastery. Naive just got the BKB, and he's able to activate it in time to get away. They just lost their offlaner for nothing, thinking they could go kill Weaver. And again, the other Life Drain keeping Naive alive and healthy. Naive can keep on going in these team fights. James is about to go down. He uses Shikuchi last second. They don't have a rupture. They can't continue this fight, but they might have the shotgun ready. They might have it. In they go. Cheshire Cat the target, and they do shotgun him. Don't come near my territory. This is a stand your ground state, says Morphling. And with that, they do get an offlane kill. So 2 supports for, I think it was a support and an off. 2 supports and an offlaner for a support and an offlaner. Not bad. Ends up being kind of okay trade for both of them. Again, because the enemy team is fighting and not pushing, you're actually kind of winning because they're not putting enough pressure onto you. Morphling is still getting these kills. You're not managing to kill him. Bloodseeker's actually recovering in terms of farm, even if he's not as farm as the Weaver. You kind of want to push. Luckily, because you have an OD, your win condition is safe, so you can still win this in the late game, but it's not easy. You're still up against some Morphling.
Dire are scanning.
Okay, Weaver. Blade Mail up as his next item. Interesting choice, actually, against the Morphling, I suppose. BKB so close to Takai. You know what? Rather than Drums, I would have rather he gone for Blade Mail. I think Blade Mail here for Bloodseeker would have been so much better than Drums. Because now you go for the HP talent later with 100%. Level 15, 350 HP talent, 100%. And then once you get that, you... Oh, Shishikan. Oh, he's fully morphing. He's looking for the skill. He doesn't have it yet. And the ward's been used, and they shotgun. Never mind. I thought that the waveform was needed or maybe extra damage, but no. Fully morphed to agility, shotgun the Pugna every single time. And this is going to start happening now as Pugna loses his effectiveness. But the guy is also farming kind of nicely. Also being the Pugna, but getting closer and closer to the OD. OD is not a natural farmer. It's easy to catch up to him. They're doing a good job, Empire Hope, right now. They're doing a very good job of withstanding the pain from Khan. Khan needed to have a much bigger lead, minute 25. Your late game is not so consistent. You have Blink now, though, on OD, and you also have the Ags. Ooh, an Enchanted Quiver for the OD. Actually, I could go for either way. Mindbreaker's nice as well. You can give it to the Bloodseeker, actually. Enchanted Quiver, I think, for OD is a bit too strong, though, rather than the Weaver. Not sure, because Weaver lasts much longer, right? So Weaver might rather have the Enchanted Quiver. Yeah, maybe give it to the Weaver. Because he lasts much longer, he can fight around it, so yeah, definitely give it to him. Weaver, coming by, Mastery, Astral. Naive, it's looking me sitting back. Blood right, I want to make sure that hits, but unfortunately I don't think Mastery can survive this Firestorm. This Feisty. Yeah, it's still a thing he can do that. And they go closer to the enemy team to force them away from their potential allies. Morphling is using this time to push, and actually he didn't die that close to his tower, because he was a bit far away, he was wasting a bit of time, it's not that bad. James has Shikuchi. Oh, they do kill Arrow in the top lane, I presume. Sorry, they do kill Lightless using a Science Eclipse, there we go. They caught him by surprise, his sanity is immediately well played with a Blink Dagger reveal. James is being chased now, but, I mean, he has Shikuchi, so he should be fine. Shikuchi is so great. I mean, even if they dust you, you're fine, honestly.
You let yourself get
The issue is, of course, that kill on the Morphling really mitigated all the effect that the Mastery was doing. And now Mastery's definitely far behind, but so has the Bloodseeker and the Morphling compared to the OD. Weaver is also much more fun than any of them. Interesting blade mail pickup on the Weaver as well. Wish this would have been the case for the Bloodseeker. They can fight this though. They can definitely fight this, even without the Morphling. Yeah. They're playing now a really great place for Blood Right and for the Pit of Malice. Now, even forced to use the BKB super early. Okay, they've annoyed him as much as they could. They don't have any more blood rights. They forced the time lapse. This is the best thing you can accomplish. With the Morphling, you could have fought this further, but unfortunately there was no Morphling, so you kind of have to make the best out of the situation. You let them take the Aegis, but you can still win these team fights. However, this Aegis means a lot, because this Aegis could mean the last of the tier 2s. Or, no, that's not true. The top tier 2 is not going to fall anytime soon. But you can, with this Aegis, you can definitely push the mid tier 2, which is what you're looking for. Underlord, I hope he's using the Dark Rift or TPing or something like that. I can't really tell. They're going for the Underlord. They're going to kill him in 9 seconds. No, he was not. Are you really this blind, man? Come on. They're so obvious they're going for these kills. You... Please don't do this. Anyway. Underlord picks up a 4-star, so a little bit more mobility. Lilas continues to farm up. Oh, the Pango. Could have fired Eknart. I think they can kill him, actually. The Rupture is ready. Yeah, they don't want to fight this. Snowball takes some space. Naive gets the courier kill as well. Eknart's just trying to control at this point. He's just trying to get some time for the team. The unfortunate issue is, oh no, Lightless. Oh no, were you far? Why? What? Did I just witness James is TPing here? That was so close to them killing him. Luckily, Arrow didn't have his ultimate, so this couldn't happen again. But Morphin, that was not the direction to go. Now they're being properly harassed because they're actually going to be forced to fight soon. Thank God for the Blood Right and to some degree for the Rubik, because that helps you so much in escaping. Rubik's actually going straight for Ags. Okay, what do you get with Ags? Oh, if you steal time lapse, that would be huge. You get, I mean, the OD Ags, yeah, 2 charges of Astral is pretty great as well. You can't steal the Grimstroke's ability, so it doesn't really matter. And pulling a life drain, I guess, with Ags, I think that's not really relevant. But definitely you want to steal the Astral with Ags. It's actually quite nice getting the 2 charges there. Okay, top lane, we do see Morphling attempting to go for a kill here on the Weaver, and they do get the Aegis. That was an Aegis kill with a shotgun. Pit of Malice, Blood Right, they control him. Can they get the silence off in time? They do. Life Drain, Naive, forced to use the BKB and the time lapse. Kind of a win for you, to be honest. Kind of a win. Later, I think Rubik will want to either steal Astral or time lapse, because time lapse is so good with Ags. So, especially because the Weaver. I mean, I don't know if the Weaver is going to go for Ags, as you're a carry this game. Okay, well, I mean, right now, I'm not seeing the dominance I was hoping for Khan. And they do have pushing power, but they haven't been able to use it too much either. That's Aegis lost and wasted for nothing. Okay, now, this is very smart. They know there's a room battle happening, so one team prepares up themselves in the high ground, the other one prepares themselves with the smoke. The high ground, is that going to give him enough space? Blood Right use, Snowball, Astral to save him. Get the bounty, get the goddamn bounty! Get the bounty! Are they still trying to taunt around the bounty? I'm not really sure what's happening here. They are! Was that a taunt around the bounty? They were playing around with it? Can they not break it up? There we go. Takai finally gets the bounty. Pango could have taken that for free. I don't know if that was like a master bait or just playing around that idea. Jeez, that was stressful. Eknar was just walking around like, guys, look, playing with that. Jesus. They should have stolen it right under your nose, man. You don't play in a professional game like that. Gee. Alright, well, they give some space, actually. Killing the Pango, that's the main source of initiation, so that's important. Getting some space there. Pugna falling behind, so it's not like Pugna will give you much. I don't like this build either, by the way. Only mech. No Greaves potential, because you didn't go for Arcanes. Not too good. I don't know if you want to initiate this. Remember that we don't have Aegis on Weaver. Pango's going to come back soonish. Dark Rift is available. Lightless also has his morph. Rupture's about to get to level 3. If you're going for Scotty next, sure. At this point, it's the best way to fight the late game. You want to go for more expensive items so that each slot matters more. Blade Mail, Maelstrom, well, Mjolnir eventually is fine, but Blade Mail, for example, is a really cheap item, and even though it provides for with a lot, eventually it has to be sold for a better item in the late game, right? It's just the simple facts. Eventually, the Morphling won't really care about your Blade Mail. In fact, Morphling the whole time has not really been concerned himself with the Weaver. He's actually been killing the OD or the Pugna, which is much wiser. He also went for a BKB, which is fantastic. But remember now, guys, that BKB doesn't actually give you 100% magic resist. So back before, when they changed the Blade Mill to actually pierce BKB, it didn't fully pierce BKB because Blade Mill returned whatever damage source was you sent at them, right? So if you BKB'd and enemy team Blade Mill, you wouldn't get any magical damage dealt to you. So you actually were kind of safe about that. But now with the new BKB that doesn't actually give you 100% magic resist, all damage goes through it. All Blade Mail damage goes through it, so it's a bit harder. See, that Astral is not great. They even serve a lot of Atos. They can kill the OD in time. They decrep him. Life Drain. Used. He's still in there. They try to do the suck from two sides. Who's going to suck him better? From behind, the Weaver's also caught on the Bloodseeker. OD's still alive. Arrow's not killed. In comes the Morphling. Needs to shotgun him. Gets the final hit. And the Weaver fighting against the Bloodseeker the whole time. Has to use the Timeless in the end. As the Timeless finally used, and Bloodseeker can't keep on fighting this. Dark Rift has been forced by Mastery. They're going to get away here. Weaver can't follow after the Bloodseeker either. And the Uber does get home safely. However, Tatakai might not be so lucky. Here's the Blood Rage. Don't Blood Rage yourself, you madman. Tusk is also going for this potential kill. They see Naive. They do see him. Blade Mill used, forcing them to kill the Bloodseeker. But the Blade Mill just killed Bloodseeker and the Morphling right now. Jesus Christ. That wasn't the play. They didn't see the Blade Mill in time. They're going for a Pango as well. But not the best of plays, honestly. Because Pango might just kill you, actually. Yeah, you were a bit too cocky. You were a bit too cocky, Mastery. Nice little bit of malice, but it's not going to save you because they can just fight away from it. He's still there, up in the high ground. Mastery. Overstayed your welcome. Thinking you could kill the Pango, or thinking you could go for anything, really. And Morphling losing his life there is not that big a deal because you do kill the Weaver, which you had to kind of do. You could have waited the Blade Mail out though, but whatever. You maybe didn't see it. But the Morphling got more out of that kill than the Weaver did, so I guess it's okay. But you have to be really careful. I saw the Bloodseeker went for Basher, and he was just kind of fighting the Weaver, and that's the only reason why they could actually deal with the Weaver. They should have just let him be, honestly. He was already ruptured. Bloodseeker didn't need to fight him. You knew he had time lapse. He had some sort of extra stun, sure, but you knew he had time lapse, right? If you had Abyssal or some sort of controlled stun that you could stop the time lapse with, guaranteed, you know, then fine. Because that would mean that the Bloodseeker could surprise the Weaver last second and get him. But the fact that he chose to man-fight the Weaver as opposed to going for the rest of the carries, not the best of options. I think that they could have played that team fight better. It was still a good kill against the OD, but they needed that extra bit of damage. Pugna right now is screwing them over a lot. Both the Decrep and the Life Drain have been a big deal here. And I'm surprised because I would like the Tusk to actually go for a Spirit Vessel, or someone to go for a Spirit Vessel this team, but nobody has. I guess the nerfs to the Spirit Vessel I've made so it's not really worth it if your hero's going to die too soon, because now it's an aura, right? So it's a huge nerf to the Spirit Vessel.
It's not in my nature, but...
You also throw the Pango. It's going to help his initiation a bit. Also, to counter the potential ruptures. Not that it's mattered, because they've not really ruptured the Pango. They've kind of concentrated on rupturing the Weaver. That Blade Mail pick up on the Weaver is really smart. Imagine if the Takai had done the same thing. Because then there would be two Blade Mails, right? And then you wouldn't really be able to beat him. Because the Takai deals as much damage. Yeah, I wish that was a Blade Mail as opposed to Drums on him.
Got it.
Precious vampire. My waters rise.
James blinks away in time. Yamich can't get him. They do have a lot of heroes up top, but the Dark Rift could send them back to safety. It's very, very important that they realize that. They just went for James. They're probably going to rotate here soon, so they gotta really keep their hand or their finger on the trigger. This trigger being the Dark Rift. There we go, yeah, Dark Rift used as soon as the tower goes down. Why did they not... What? What was the point of that? What was the point of Bloodseeker and Tusk staying behind? To cancel potential initiations? That seems like a waste of a TP to me, honestly.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Telekinesis for the OD. I don't think we can kill him. There's a lot of range actually with the Ethernet plus the talents. Throw Essence Shift is not great. Still going for the axes next item. That's actually the worst, I think, to steal. That no, Essence Shift. Sorry, the Essence Orb.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Okay, what is the plan here, Empire Hope? They're kind of keeping the ground now. There's Scotty and Weaver, so he's going to be even more tanky now. I don't think Scotty and Morph is flipped up yet. We've always seen the buyback status. Yeah, we see that a bunch of heroes, I agree, on Khan's side don't have buyback. They are now going to go for the Roshan. Smoke up, okay. Empire.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
This could be a really good smoke, but the enemy team, they think the enemy team is on the Roshan pit, which is not wrong to think about. It's actually a pretty good assumption because they're not aware to be seen. But Khan is predicting this properly, and oh, you do not want to play this like this. You gotta scout the Roshan pit and leave this because you do not want to lose your high ground potential. Weaver's very close to level 25 as well, which gives you the more Shikuchi movement speed, and good luck catching Weaver after that. Mastery walks in, he's like, guys, I don't think there's anyone here. Oh, Mastery, Naive, sees him. Lotus Orb immediately to make sure they don't, I guess, rupture it.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
They kill the courier here in Dukalis. 128 actually, it's a fair amount of gold. Who has Lotus, by the way? I'm assuming it's Pugna. They're keeping control over the enemy high ground. They took the outpost. This is a big deal because now you can't TP behind them, so you lost a bit of mobility potentially here. Naive sees the Pit of Malice, was very close to catching him here. It's a lot of tension right now for both teams because Khan knows that where the enemy team is, and Empire Hope knows where Khan is. So you kind of just keeping your safe distance, both of them. Attention making break my phone, unfortunately. So tense that my phone dropped to the floor. So yeah, they're taking this. They're starting to slowly take this tower while the enemy team is trying to do the same here, but of course the lanes are not as pushed, so this is much better for Khan, who is pushing these lanes much more effectively. They take a free tower, they had a double damage Weaver. It's not like I think Empire Hope had many options here, but it's looking tough for Empire.
Radiant are scanning.
See that blood right? Okay, scouted them. The scan. Yep. They know where they are. They see the Rubik bottom. They control the Pango alone. It's not the best hero to control. Frankly, they'll serve on the Weaver to prevent the rupture. Rubik TP's very wise. They're controlling the Pango well, but another Astral Imprisonment to save his life. There's no more Pit of Malice this time. Or are they going to burst? They go for the OD seemingly. That's all the damage the Morphling can do. Telekinesis is going to keep him in place, and that's going to be arrow dead. That's the initiation that you were looking for the whole time. Now, the Pit of Malice to control the Weaver, but the Pango is still very annoying, almost killing the Underlord in the process. Pango actually might kill the enemy offlaner, but Indigo, the Morphling helping him out from behind. The two supports are gone, but the Pango will also fall. You lost the Rubik, and you lost the Underlord, sorry. Not just the supports, but Underlord comes back soon enough. And you managed to kill the OD and the Pango. It's kind of a win for Empire Hope. Kind of a win. He is 2 for 2, but losing the OD is so big, such a big deal. Lightless played this really well. Weaver seems unkillable at this point. He has level 25. They're going to go for the Roshan as quick as possible. Blood Rage plus tag team makes the Roshan a possibility. And they can give Aegis to Morphling, Cheese to the Bloodseeker. Or maybe inverse. No, yeah, that definitely should be the play, actually. Yeah. Cheese to Bloodseeker. Because if you stun the Morphling, you can actually kill him if he's not fully, if he's morphs one way or another. Whereas if you stun the Bloodseeker, the likelihood of you being able to bring him down is kind of low. Oh, he actually went for the, I think he went for the Blood Right talent. It's hard to tell. Huh. I hope he didn't go for the extra Blood Right talent. Actually, I'm just going to look this up. No, he went for the HP talent. Okay, right. 275 health. Yeah, you need that. It's a really good talent. Blood Right talent is only good if you're going for the Blood Right Bloodseeker without Drain Core, which is not something you play anymore. Illusion Escape is nice. Minotaur Horn is much nicer though. I would actually give the Illusion Escape right now to the Weaver, because you can actually, it's not to the Weaver, to the Morphling, because Morphling can turn into the Weaver, for example, and do a lot of shenanigans like that. And more importantly, Morphling can, it's probably the best target you want to kill, right? Yeah, so they give him the Illusion Escape. So you can actually bait out a lot of stuff, because Morphling, I mean, with him or without him, it's kind of what makes the difference here. Actually, just took a Tome of Experience, I'm presuming to get close to level 25. I want to say that he's going for the Active Strike on multiple targets, because there's so many targets that can be killed. But the problem with that is that you are going to die if you do that, because the Blade Mail will screw you over. You deal way too much damage. If you go for that talent, that Active Strike that deals to multiple targets, you will die as a Morphling. And the Waveform talent, while being nice, is not like the game-winning talent. Okay, Ags on Rubik. This is huge. If he steals the time lapse, this game actually becomes something completely different. They might even force a team fight just so Rubik can steal a time lapse. That's how good it is. Okay, Arrow. I'm surprised that they decided to initiate like this. Rubik is also, sorry, Weaver's also nearby. Arrow using this Essence Shift to slow down the enemy team, which actually gives him enough space. Oh, Ednard, close. Really, Mastery? Atos was the play, not the bit of Malice. Atos was the play. I don't know if he could have gotten to him, but it was the play. Willow Shackle, this is fantastic. Give it to the Rubik. Give the Willow Shackle. Or Tusk, honestly. Tusk might be able to use it. Even Underlord, you could consider it, honestly. Regardless, I think Willow Shackle is often underappreciated, but it's a really good item. I don't know if they would have fight this. Pit of Malice to disengage. There's the Atos, we keep him stunned. Lotus Orb so he can swashbuckle himself to safety. James still going for a kill. Finds the Grimstroke. Astral Imprisonment. He's still going to get brought back. Oh, no, because they changed that. Oh, he is brought back, actually. This is interesting. They do find Ducalis. Okay, the Life Drain to save him. Yame trying to disengage. They evade the Rolling Thunder nicely. Tango's still in trouble. Ducalis going to die to the Blood right at this point. There we go. Morphling to kill him. He's already used a Soul Bind. He's not going to be used too effectively for now. Double Hex, though. Double Hex, and the BKBs come up. They wanted to go for the OD, but it's a bit impossible. Yamich has been controlling the backlane. They snowball him to make sure he can't TP. Not really sure who's winning this team fight right now. It seems like they can't really fight this. Arrow's fighting in the middle of that. That's not what you want to fight. Lightless deals way too much damage. Arrow again killed off. Naive being the real carry here, and Naive is pushing everyone away. Lightless manages to TP. Nothing can stop him. Bloodseeker's trying the same, but Dragonify is a bit too brutal, and they end up killing him off with the Ghost. He lost 2 cores and a support here, only for a support and a mid laner. Yes, Morphling stays alive, and OD doesn't, but Weaver right now has become the win condition. They can't kill Naive. They can't deal with this Weaver. I didn't see them lose the Aegis, to be honest. And they go, what? Are you serious? Is that going to be evaded? That was so obvious. Yeah, he still has the Aegis. What am I saying? Why did you say to lose Aegis? Well, Secret didn't want to use the cheese there because he was dead anyway, so. Atlas, you cannot be fooled by a Yul Scepter like that, by the way. You gotta control yourself, man. I know you want to go for the waveform kill, but the Yul's is very obvious there. It's not looking good for Empire Hope. This Bloodseeker is not looking good this game, unfortunately. And them killing the OD doesn't really matter. They can't deal with the Weaver. They should have really ruptured. They should rupture the Weaver every single time. I'm surprised they're rupturing the Pango, other stuff. Who cares about the Blade Mail? Honestly, who cares? Magic Lamp, one of the... Oh, they're being really unlucky with the items they're finding as well. Magic Lamp is the worst tier 4 item. Actually worse than most tier 3 items. It's up there with Flicker though. Flicker and Magic Lamp are both really useless. Okay, that Butterfly might make a difference here. I mean, just eventually the Weaver will stop being strong, right? This is the issue. Khan is playing really confidently, thinking, oh, I'm Weaver, you know, I'm God. But not really, are you? Because Weaver does lose or fall off as the game progresses. It definitely happens. He's going for a Bloodthorn now. This is the last gamble. You have to win these next team fights for sure, and kill the Morphling.
Amazing what you found laying around.
What's the next item on Bloodseeker? Does he have Abyssal yet? Does Takai have Abyssal yet? I'm not really sure. I like that he's swapping around between Illusion Escape and that's nice. The cooldown reduction is actually really good on Rubik. He needs to steal that time lapse though. That might be the only saving grace Empire has at this point to win the next couple team fights. Because honestly, it's looking very scary. If the next couple team fight, if one more team fight loses, you're done for. Minotaur Horn is on the Bloodseeker, so that's gonna give a bit more leeway when it comes to these fights. You should not. I don't think this is the fight to take, by the way. Underlord. Initiating. Nice bit of malice, but yeah, this is another team fight to take. Double side of Vice. They go for Arrow. They try to kill him. Morphling with a BKB. Arrow saving himself. And now Morphling dealing damage whatever you can see. Goes for the Weaver instead. Again, saving himself this OD. Nothing you can do against him. Rupture at least to kill off Yamich. OD the target. Another pit of malice. They want to go for Arrow, but a beautiful Saiya's Eclipse almost turns this around. It deals so much damage to everyone. Not quite enough to kill anyone. They finally destroy Sheshokat and Yamich, and now their target is going to be Arrow, the OD. Morphling going further. He's been disarmed by a lucky shot, but Naive still can't last this. Use the Blade Mill. It's not going to be enough. He had no time lapse. He's also going to die. Yamich came back for nothing. They might kill the Bloodseeker, though, in the process, but Bloodseeker is barely surviving for now. Someone killed Takai. He has the shield crash, which is going to be enough to finish off the poor Bloodseeker. James in a similar position, has the Inkswell. In comes the Morphling as fast as he can. He has out of waveform charges, but James is still alive for now. Khan realizes the Morphling will be back. He tries to save his teammate. He's not going to save him in time because he's been disarmed by a lucky shot. Yamich, please go play the casinos because you are been unlucky as hell today. Another lucky shot disarmed with only a single hit. But they're still looking for him, though. They have the waveform. They should be able to find him. They guess incorrectly, but Mastery does see him. Yamich gets away. Pit of Malice. They go forward. The Yule Scepter's not going to save him. They have Rod of Athos anyway, and they finally guarantee this kill on this annoying Pango who butt back just to win this team fight. I cannot believe the lucky shots we have been seeing. My god, these lucky shots condemned the Bloodseeker, gave him so much space, killed the Rubik. Oh, lord. Okay, Pango, mate. Okay. Anyway, Morphling still survives yet another engagement, which is huge. I think he actually lost the Aegis there. He didn't even have it. Doesn't matter. Morphling being alive is your win condition. Is what matters. Bloodseeker's just playing the space creation game, and he's doing pretty well at it. They finally managed to bring down the Weaver, and this means objectives for your team. This means some leeway for the Morph. Wow, that's a lot of damage, actually, from the Grimstroke. Willis Shekel was picked up on the other Lord, which is great. Alright, what I also love is actually the Morph node to level 30 is going to be a big level for him. You get some really nice talents there, including add the strike talent, you know, some of the stats talents that you get earlier, so it's going to be nice for him. I actually want to double check, because I don't know what the Morphling talents are by heart. The ones that are usually not picked up, right? So the 15% cooldown reduction is going to be great for him. The attack speed or morph duration, I can't really tell what he's gone. I think he must have gone for the attack speed. So morph duration is going to be fantastic, actually. And honestly, yeah, agility or waveform range, whatever he's gone for in the early game. I mean, level 30 on Morphling is quite nice. Level 30 on Weaver is also very good. One of the best heroes to get level 30, I would say. Because level 25 talents on Weaver are so good, both of them. They've been concentrating really well on the OD, and the OD's lack of mobility has been cancelled nicely by Mastery. You also lead at level 25 on Bloodseeker. However, Bloodseeker doesn't have the best level 25, frankly. Blood Rite cooldown is probably the best thing, but you lack the mana to make use of it. In fact, I wouldn't mind the Bloodseeker started to be a bit more of a tank and went for like a Shiva or something like that.
Regeneration.
I mean, yeah, Bloodseeker's actually at the same level with Rubik, so it's not too great right now. He has been dying way too much in these fights. He hasn't really been able to take advantage of the early game either. I mean, his early game was terrible. It's been a difficult game for this Bloodseeker. Okay, they're keeping the high ground. This is smart. Oh, they can find the Pango. Find the Pango. Technart. Clever caped. James goes in. James is crazy. James is crazy. The Blood Right's been used. James is dead. What did I just witness? James, what are you doing? They're going for Teshakat, I think. James buys back immediately. There's the Abyssal. They kill at least the Pugna. And now the Dark Prince has been used. They know they can't get any more. They lose the Bloodseeker. Oh, and Eknor, you're also late to the party. He's not going to be able to get away just with Glimmer Cape. The Magic Life is nice, but not that nice. He's just wasting time. That was a really nice stuff. Why would you go in like that, Ruby? Like, killing the Pugna is okay, but losing the Bloodseeker is not there. Losing the Bloodseeker.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
This game can be anyone's game, by the way. I'm surprised by the amount of comments that go like, yeah, no, Kana's gonna win.
Radiant's middle
It's like,
tower
no,
is under attack.
either team can take this game. It really depends on the initiations. In fact, the later the game goes, the stronger the Morphin becomes. The idea that Khan can do something in the extreme late game is not going to happen, to be honest. But right now, the game is under wins. Yeah, 60 minutes in is going to be the last point of inflection for either team. Khan is winning by 10k only. 50 minutes in means nothing. It means absolutely nothing. Shukuchi stolen by the Rubik. He, again, wants to steal the time lapse. That's what you want to steal. You don't care about Shukuchi. You don't care about anything. You care about the time lapse. That's what you want to steal. Oh, that Ags. Give the axe to the Weaver, actually. Because you reduce the time lapse cooldown, you can use it on your teammates as well. Give the axe to the Weaver. It's so good. Or that, or give it to the Grinch. But I think it's going to be 40 minutes to pick it up.
Radiant's courier has been killed.
Oh lord, I can't believe that just happened. Thank you for pointing that out. I was wondering, it's like, wait, who got the eggs? Oh, and the observer's laughing even. The courier stole the cheese and the courier stole the eggs upgrade, which is fantastic. My god, that is huge. Actually, give the now you can give the eggs to the Pang or to the Bloodseeker. Why? Why? We're possessed here. Magic Lab is not gonna save me. Observer, stop being funny. Like, seriously, we need to concentrate the game. Tusk is dead, but Tusk is able to come back. Rubik is trying to split push with the Shukuchi, which is quite effective actually. The magic will split push nicely with the Shukuchi and the illusion. Ruined right now. It's hard to push their high ground, mind you, even with the Pugna, because they have so many things to wave clear. And on top of that, they have a lot of split pushing tactics, especially because the Weaver can steal Shukuchi, right? So he's pretty much invulnerable when he steals Shukuchi. Alright, once the courier comes back from mastery and he hits the Ags and the cheese, they're gonna give the Ags to the Bloodseeker. Double rupture, now that's gonna be a difficult thing to deal with. You don't have any other good Ags really in this game because Rubik already has his and Morphling doesn't care for his. And Morphling would be okay if you were actually gonna steal something useful with the Ags. Like Morphling could turn into OD and that would be an okay Ags, but that's it. It's like, yeah, you don't want to get the Ags to Morphling. But Bloodseeker would love to have an Ags this game. I don't know how long until Mastery's courier comes back, but that's going to be a nice little point of inflection. Because that means that you're going to be able to rupture both the Pango and the Weaver. And that's it. Yeah, Morphin's weak against the OD in the lane, and yeah, sure, but not later. Because later you have enough strength to be able to withstand the OD. It's kind of an even matchup, really. It depends on who initiates. Also, in this game, OD has kind of been cancelled because he's too slow to deal with the Underlord. Underlord was a really good pickup against the OD. You're not a hero. You need so many things. There's your cat. Yeah, close, huh?
Oh boy.
So the OD is not going to be too effective this game. It's really just up to the Weaver. If you can see in the team fight, it's the only hero they can't really deal with is the Weaver, right? The OD hasn't really been able to do much. Actually, I don't think he has BKB, right? Well, or oh, sorry, they have not been fighting against him hand to hand, and BKB isn't really matter. 60 minutes in, and it's getting closer and closer. That's going to matter a lot. Right? Mirror Shield will be pretty huge if Khan can get it. Telekinesis. He didn't go for Telekinesis talent. Actually, I don't know yet. Yeah, he did not go for Telekinesis talent. You know what? I think Telekinesis talent would have actually been really nice because you combine that with Rupture, right? I'm assuming he went for the Fateful cooldown. Actually, it's hard to tell. But if we went for the extra damage on the stolen spells, which is the other side, it's not too late. Don't love that talent. Telekinesis again. Find the Pugna, Blood Right. Gonna do much. They want to kill the Colossus though. The Colossus is dead. Rubik did steal the Rolling Thunder right now. And they can actually kill 2 kills for free here. Pugna's about to die. Pugna's dead. Naive is gonna chase after the OD. This time he's alive though. There's the ultimate destroying the Morphling, but he has buyback immediately. He wants to come back in. There's the Minotaur Horn used by that OD. They want to keep him in control. They can kill him again. Another beautiful Pit of Malice onto 3. They silence up the Underlord. They want to go further. The OD is stopped. The OD can't do much against this Bloodseeker. The Lucky Shot's not gonna help. OD's done for. He has buyback too though. We need to force the buyback on the Morphling, so that was still okay. That's the power, right? That's what OD can do. But if you catch him first, not as great. Lightless. Okay, they have the courier now, by the way. Should have the courier. So I'm assuming that we're gonna get Ags soon. Whomever has it, and the cheese. That's still really good. Even the bottom lane. I mean, They didn't manage to kill him, so it's not really that big a deal if they kill him now. It's not okay. It doesn't really matter. I don't know if you can push. I mean, you're definitely going to force buybacks. They're going to have to fight without the Pugna, which is actually a big deal because Pugna was the main reason why he was kept alive. Oh, Mastery has some sort of cooldown reduction because he has been so good with that Pit of Malice. Yeah, they give the extra coming by. That's huge, actually. Rupture, Rupture. There's no Lotus Orb on the enemy team. Or Mirror Shield. Naive. You just need to Rupture him once and you literally can't do anything against you. Alright, there we go. That's 2 racks done. Are they really not going to buy back on the OD? Are they really not going to buy back? Okay, they think the OD can't do anything. Alright, fine. That's 2 racks, perhaps third. Perhaps a third racks. You need to create some space for this. How are you going to do this? They're going straight for everything. They know they can. Morphling pushes way too quick. 13 seconds. Is 13 seconds enough? Are they going to play this tight? They are going to. Weaver annoying. There we go with silence. The ghost immediately destroyed. BKB used. They go for the racks. 5 seconds. Can they take them in time? Dark Rift used. This is why you can't. This is why you should have bought back earlier, because they always hit the Dark Rift to come back. They just got Mega Creeps for free, and you didn't even buy back for this. Oh, Lord. Rapier on the Weaver. You have no other options. That was not a good play, buddy. That was not a good play. And yeah, the point is, even if OD can delete the morphing, and there's options, you know, I'm not saying that morph is a good hero against OD, but late, that counter, quote-unquote, is not as obvious or not as strong. Early mid, yeah, you're right, but this late in the game, morph is just such a strong late game hero that OD can't just beat him. Especially because he doesn't have that much farm, you know? If he had gone for a much more farmed build and he had dominated from the early, sure. But that's not the case. So, that's the problem. Yeah, you can surprise with 70s, but how many times can you realistically do that, honestly? Especially if the morph has buyback. You guys are right, but be really careful when you say like easy for so and so. It's not, as you can tell here. Khan doesn't seem to be doing too well. Empire Hope is honestly that was a misplay by Khan. Oh yeah, you know you can Rupture at this point to Weaver. He's like, I don't care. Get Ruptured yourself. But the guy can last this better. Yep, Weaver constantly with the Astral. Have to keep saving him. Oh, in they go. They use the ultimate, which means Morph is safe from it. Bloodseeker might die. Mentor Horns is forced out, but he has the BKB. Sorry, he has the buyback. Now Arrow's killed, but he luckily has buyback as well. Time lapse onto the Weaver is not going to be good enough. Weaver's gone for. He doesn't have time lapse either. He can't buy back either. What was that, Weaver? Why did you not have buyback there? It doesn't have the gold for it. Weaver's done for. The Pugna as well, and the Pango follows suit. They're chasing after the Grimstroke, want to make this the final kill. Another Pit of Malice. This is going to sentence the game for them. You don't have Pango or Grimstroke or Weaver. Why does Weaver not have buyback is my question. And OD, on the other hand, and Pugna bought back for nothing because what was that saving of the buyback for? What did that accomplish, saving the buyback for that long? Oh. I think this is GG, Khan. I don't think you can defend this one more time. It's Pugna and OD versus the world. And OD doesn't have ultimate. So, alright. Let's see what you can do with this. Let's see, Arrow. Bedazzle me. Bedazzle all of us. There's a bunch of viewers waiting for you to do the best play in history. 70 gold for Weaver to buy back. You need to destroy a tower, something to give him that gold. Weaver still requires a bit of time. Turn him into a pig. Go for the OD first. You're going to lose him a bit too early. You can't lose him this early. The inverse sucked us nothing. The GG is called. And the 2-0 is a guarantee. Empire Hope win this game against... Yeah, a lot of odds, certainly against what the chat was saying. Goes to show, no game in Dota is 100% guaranteed. 2-0, Team Empire Hope beats Khan a second time and secures this series. My name has been DSwordfish. I've been your caster for today. Hope you enjoyed the cast, hope you enjoyed the games, even if you are sad because your favorite team lost. It's been a pleasure casting you for sure. Let's get casting for you for sure. Let's get last message from our sponsors out of the way. Guys, our partner EGB.com gives you an awesome proposal. The first deposit bonus up to $600. At EGB.com, you can also find convenient service, daily quests, and a bonus system. Interested? Click on the banner under the broadcast to learn more. Hope you enjoyed the last couple hours, and we'll see you guys tomorrow with some more Dota 2 for the Arena Blood Season 2 League. It's been a pleasure, and until then, guys.
EGB, your esports betting world. The only place to find the widest choice of popular games and matches to win real money. Choose your bet on a single event or express of several matches with dizzy odds. Serving the market for 7 years with over 800,000 users. Join now to get your bonus for the first deposit up to $600. EGB, you know for sure who's gonna win.